Yes, very good evening. This is CS Aarti Panigrahi again after so many days. Fine. So guys, we had taken this chapter company law which you had studied already in your PU also, and some basic concept we had taken, all right? What is the meaning of company? Where is the applicability? Okay. These all things we had seen in detail. Then we had seen the features. Okay. So on features separate legal entity, which case laws we had discussed? Who will tell me? Raise your hands. Which case law? The name of case law. On the features of separate legal entity. Yes, Apeksha. Which which case law we had discussed on this separate legal entity? Salomon versus Salomon. You are right, corporate well, but I was asking the case law name. The case law was what? Salomon versus Salomon. Are you remembering? Do you remember that what was there in Salomon versus Salomon? Had you revised in your notebook what you had written, guys? Hmm? So we had seen the separate legal entity features, then we had seen perpetual succession, limited liability. Everybody knows limited liability. We had seen companies limited liability, limited by share, limited by guarantee, and unlimited liability. So the company limited by guarantee, at what time the liability arises? At what time liability arises in the company limited by guarantee? At the time of winding up. Okay. Then artificial judicial person, company can act through human agency only, company can contract, sue and be sued. These all things we had seen. Separate legal entity, on this feature we had discussed this case law. And this one, Macura versus Northern Assurance Company Limited, this is also a important case law I told you, where a member does not even have an insurable interest in the property of the company, the leading case on this point. Okay, so in that, what you had seen, anybody can tell me what we had seen in this case? Macura, yes. Hmm. Hmm. Okay, so they cannot take insurance in their own name. Shareholder can take insurance in their name, they cannot take insurance in their name. Okay, then perpetual succession we had seen, member may come and go, but company will go forever till the time we will not close the company by the operation of law. And what is the process of the winding of a, sorry, the what is the process to close the law, to close the company? That is winding up. That is winding up. Okay, limited liability we had seen, you are liable for how much money? How much amount to the company you are liable for the unpaid amount. Okay, unpaid amount. Can you please close the door? Artificial legal person. So company is an artificial person, and it run by the natural person, that we had seen. Okay, and common seal is mandatory or optional? Optional. Fine. Then corporate veil theory we had seen. Raise your hands who are knowing the concept of corporate veil. Please raise your hand. New student, we had explained it in the last class. I took too much time to explain it. Yes, raise your hands. Corporate veil theory. Omkar, only one person. What about others? Anusha, sorry, Sneha. Yes. Anyone else? What about September batch? Everyone knows. Okay. Okay. Fine. Yes, Omkar, what is corporate veil theory?
I mean, corporate game theory, like members are separated. Like, they need any liability incurred by the company is different. Like the members are shielded from it.
Shielded, they are protected, right? Corporate veil theory is telling the features of separate legal entity where members, the one who are constituting the company, they are separate from the company. If company had incurred any debt or liability, whether members are liable for that, responsible for that? No, no. Which feature is giving this protection and which theory is giving the protection? That is corporate veil theory. Okay, as far we had seen this, that managers and management and the directors and the one who are beyond the company, behind the company, being a natural person, they are doing management for the company, they are shielded by this theory. Further we will see that how the corporate veil will be pierced, okay, pierced, and how it will be lifted. How we will check that if, say suppose if the directors and management and board of director, they are doing fraud and they are telling that this fraud is not our fraud, it is the company fraud, okay, right? They can tell separate, we are shielded by the corporate veil theory and we are not responsible for that. So they can do any kind of fraud, right? So to check that who are the person behind the corporate, there is a theory, that is the lifting the corporate veil, lifting or piercing the corporate veil, okay. So general thing we had seen in this, that what is general rule, that the management or member of the companies are shielded from the liability connected to company's action. But company's action are taken by whom? By the natural person, these members, the management. So we have to check that whether company is in the name of company, what they are doing. So in what cases? In every cases the court will involve in this, and in every cases court is not going and check that whether this, who is doing this and that. But there are some circumstances where court will check that who are the person beyond or behind the corporate who are doing these things. So this is a very, very important question as per the exam point of view, and we are going to see that in what cases company or court will intervene, okay, in what cases. So last we had left the topic here, that now the question may arise whether this veil of corporate personality can even be lifted or pierced. Everybody got the topic or not? First of all, Rajesh, the new students, so are you getting this? The one who missed that, you will get the recording of these lectures, and in that whatever doubt you will have, I will take that, fine. So they are telling how the question is here, how to lift the corporate personality and how it will be lifted and how it will be pierced. So before going into this question, one should first try to understand the meaning of phrase lifting the veil. It means looking behind the company as a legal person, means disregarding the corporate entity. As far what we had learned, that separate corporate legal entity, we had seen that. Now the court is disregarding it. In every case they will not hear that members are separate and corporate is separate. In some cases they will disregard this. Disregard means they will not consider it, okay. They will not consider it every time that members are separate and company is separate, right? So this is that. Here it means looking behind the company as a legal person, disregarding the corporate entity and paying regard. What they will consider, guys? Instead to the realities behind the legal facet. What is the facet, guys? Face mask or mukhota. In Hindi we say mukhota, the face mask. Who had covered the face behind the corporate, right? They are making the face marks of corporate and they are working on behalf of corporate, okay. So instead of realities behind the legal facet, where the court ignore the company. Now the court will see that company and members are not separate, so they will disregard this legal personality and concern themselves directly with the members. So this is very, very important. What they will see, they will ignore the company and concern themselves directly with the members or managers. Court will check with whom? Members and managers. The corporate veil may be said to have been lifted. So when the court will check with the managers and members, they will disregard the company. It will be called the corporate veil is lifted or pierced. Are you getting? Everyone? Only in the appropriate circumstances. So not in all cases, guys, only in the appropriate circumstances the court are willing to lift the corporate veil, and that too when questions of control are involved. This is very important. When they will check in all cases? No. When they will check, that when they see that management and members are having the control over the company. Say suppose members and managers are having control over the company, so to whom you will blame? Company or managers and management? The one who is having the control over the company, you have to check with them, right? So only in appropriate circumstances the court are willing to lift the corporate veil, and that too when questions of control are involved rather than merely a question of ownership. So we have not to see the ownership, we have to see who is having or who are having the control over the company. Okay, whatever I am underlining, these are called key sentences, key words, and that should present in your answer. That is very, very important. Reading whole paragraph, mugging up whole paragraph is not important. What are the key points? That is very, very important, which I am underlining here. Okay, so guys, lifting. So what you have to remember in this paragraph, guys? What you have to remember? In one line you can say. Yes, Ritika? What you have to remember in this paragraph? Only 1 to 2 lines. Yes, anyone? Yes, Omkar?
And that
That what is the corporate veil? What is the meaning of corporate veil?
it distinguishes between the members and the company.
Hmm.
So when the corporate bill is lifted, the members sometimes it is going to be lifted because of any fraud. So at that time, the ownership is not required. The management is
Control is important. Control. Who are having control on the company, that is important. Okay, these 2 lines you have to remember. What is the corporate veil? Lifting of corporate veil. Looking behind the corporate. Second thing, who is having the control on the company? We have to, court will check with them. They can be member or management. Okay. So lifting of corporate veil, the following are the cases. 6 to 7 marks this question came. Okay. The following are the cases where company law disregard the principle of corporate personality or the principle that the company is a legal entity distinct and separate from its shareholder or member. Zubia, what does it mean? In this, what the court is telling? Yes, anyone? Aishwarya? Here's the gun. These 2 lines, the last 2 paragraphs I am explaining that only these words again and again we are reading. Where is the concentration, guys? You are not able to understand, please let me know. If you are not able to understand. Yes, Neha, do you want to interpret it? And disregarding the separate legal entity means what? Yes. Not considering the separate legal entity. And in which theory we were considering that? Which theory we were considering? Corporate veil theory. And now this line I think 4 to 5 times I am reading. Please make your concentration. If you are not understanding, please raise your hands. Separate legal entity features everybody is knowing. That is telling that company is separate, members are separate. And they were telling that whatever company, for company's action, we are not liable. Are you getting? Which theory was protected the members? Corporate veil theory. Corporate veil theory had said that whatever company's action, because of company's action, if any penalty or fine or anything will be there, members are not liable. Which features is giving the protection? Separate legal entity and corporate veil theory. Everybody got this? Now I said in some circumstances the court will interfere in some circumstances, not in all circumstances. Court will see that in every case if the people will say, the management will say the company is liable, we are not liable. Company is an artificial person. It is run by the natural person, managed by the natural person. So the court will see who are the person having control on the company. Control means who are taking the decision, who are controlling the company, who are interfering in day-to-day affairs of the company. Okay. So in that case, court will not see company and they will ignore the separate legal entity theory. And there the court will say, when you are managing the company, how you are telling that I am not responsible? So in what kind of cases? When there is a tax evasion, there are the cases I am going to read further. In what cases? Not in all cases. In some cases, court will see who are the person behind the company who are doing wrong and they are telling we are not responsible. Who is responsible? Company is responsible. Are you getting? And they are taking benefit of separate legal entity and corporate wealth theory. Now I think this is 8 times or 10 times I am revised. So if after this everybody got it, what is the concept and further what circumstances we are going to see. Yes, that is just a matter of legal terms, guys. Initially it will be difficult for you to understand. That's why I am explaining each and every line, word. But your duty, you have to go home and you have to revise, otherwise it will be very difficult to understand further concepts. If you had taken up this course, little bit extra effort you have to do. Okay. So these are the terms. In 1 week, 10 days, you will be acquainted with these terms and it will be very easy for you to understand. But initially, you have to take some effort and put your interest into this, right? So what are that circumstances, guys? To determine the character of the company. With the examples, I will tell you, okay? Here is one case law, that to determine the character of the company, to find out whether co-enemy or friend, okay? So first of all, we have to check in this point that the company is your enemy or friend, okay? So let's see in this case law, in the law relating to trading with the enemy, where the test of control is adopted, the leading case in this point is Daimler Company Limited versus Continental Tire and Rubber Company. Okay. So guys, first of all, I will tell, there are some contract between other countries also. Recently something happened where India had stopped supplying water to Pakistan. Before this situation, India was supplying water to Pakistan, right? And that time we were not enemy. It was not considered like enemy. But when they started war, that country is enemy or not? Right? So at that time you have to understand that whether this company, co-company is enemy or your friend, right? So when we will consider that any co-company means one company with the another company. When we will consider that company is enemy, guys, when if the public interest is not likely to be jeopardy. Jeopardy is what? Danger. You can note down that. The leading case is Daimler Company Limited versus Continental. If the public interest is not likely to be in danger, the court may not be willing to crack the corporate shell. When companies are doing their work and there is nothing harming to public interest, okay, to the whole public, but in this case Pakistan was harming the public, right? So immediately we considered that enemy company and we stopped the treaty, the agreement, whatever we had with the Pakistan, right? Because they were harming the public interest. Okay, so court will not interfere in every case, but when court will interfere? When they will see that this company is doing something wrong against the public interest. Okay, so till the time, if the public interest is not likely to be in jeopardy, in danger, the court may not willing to crack the corporate shell. Corporate shell means lifting the corporate veil or piercing the corporate veil. Okay, so till that time they will not interfere. Court will not interfere, right? But it may rend the veil, means they will pierce. Rend the veil means pierce. Okay, piercing, everybody know piercing? Ear piercing? You don't know? You don't have even? You have? So ear piercing, nose piercing, that is called the piercing. Okay. So guys, it is true that, but it may rend the veil for ascertaining whether the company is enemy company. So when they will feel that any work, any activity is going which is harming the public interest, then that kind of company is our enemy company. Okay. At the corona time, China was the enemy for us. Okay. For every country actually. So it is true that ascertaining whether a company is enemy company, it is true that unlike a natural person, a company does not have mind or conscience. Therefore, it cannot be friend or foe. Normally what we are saying, company is having mind. Company is having mind. So how a company can be the enemy, or how a company can be friend or enemy, guys? Based on the activities, and who used to do the activities? The natural person. Okay, so company is not having mind, but the natural person, company does not have mind or conscience, therefore it cannot be friend or foe. It may however be characterized as an enemy company if its affairs are under the control of the people of the enemy country. If company is to having no mind, no conscience, but who are running, who are having control on that company? Enemy country are having control on that company. It means that company is our friend or enemy. So court will check in that cases. This is your first circumstances where court will interfere. Okay. So for this purpose, the court may examine the character of the person who are really at the helm of affairs of the company, means who are at the control of affairs of the company. Okay. So first paragraph we had seen, court will interfere when they will check that who are controlling. So this is the example, this is the case law, Daimler Company Limited versus Continental Tire and Rubber Company. Got it, everyone? In this, anybody is having any doubt by any line, please ask me, I will clear it. No doubt? Shall I go further? So what is the second circumstances, guys? To protect revenue or tax. Okay. If certain, who used to see, being a CFO, you are going to become chartered accountant, and in your company, wherever you will join the corporate, who will take care of the tax and tax liability of the company? Who will take care? CFO will take care. Now you had evaded the tax, you had avoided the tax, and you will say, I am not liable. Who is liable? My company is liable. So in that case, court have to lift the corporate veil, and court have to pierce the corporate veil. Did you get? Who is going? You are natural person, being a CFO, you will take care of the tax liability, and you will only evade and avoid the tax liability, and you will say, I am not responsible, company is responsible. No, it will not happen. In that case, who will interfere? Court will interfere. Okay. So where the corporate entity in certain matters concerning the law of taxes, duties and stamps, particularly where question of the controlling interest is in issue. S. Berendsen Limited Company, Commissioner of Inland Revenue. Okay, where corporate entity is used to evade or circumvent taxes. They had avoided the tax. Okay, they had avoided the tax, means they had not paid the tax properly. Okay, the court can disregard the corporate entity. Court will tell that now there is no feature of separate legal entity. You guys are, you management, or you are not separate from the company. You and company, it is same, because you are only controlling the company. So in what cases, guys? In evading or circumvent tax. Okay. Then next is in Dinshaw Manikji Petit. So here what happened, guys? It is interesting case. I'll just tell you. What happened in this case? This person, it was held that the company was not a genuine company, and all but merely the SSC himself disguised under the legal entity of a limited company. Okay, the SSC earned huge income by way of dividends and interest, so he opened some company and purchased their share in exchange of his income by way of dividend and interest. This income was transferred back to SSC by way of loan. The court decided that the private company were a sham and corporate veil was lifted to decide the real owner of the income. Nothing you understood. Okay? So let's see. Let's see what happened in this case, guys. What happened? Mr. A earned some dividend and interest from other company. He had invested in some company, he had purchased the share of any company, and he had earned what? Interest and dividend. Fine. What he had done, he had opened a company, PQR Limited. Watch it. What? Okay. So Mr. A earned dividend and interest from other company, and he opened which company? PQR Limited, and he took all shares of that company. From where he had purchased that share? From that income. Which income? Dividend and interest. Okay. He had opened a PQR Limited and he purchased all share. Right. Now he doesn't have money, no, now in his hand. He is having money? No. But he is the shareholder of that company. 100% shares are with the Mr. A. Now what he had done, all his money is only invested in this company and he is taking loan from this company. Now what he is telling, there is a provision to the director or shareholder can take loan from the company. What he had done, he had opened PQR, taken all share, and later on he is taking loan from the company. Loan. He had shown that I am taking loan from the company. Okay. So he is taking loan from this company, means he is taking back his money as a form of loan, and that is a fraud. The similar we had seen in Salomon. He was the shareholder. He had given the loan also. Then that debenture and all he is taking back. So like this kind of arrangement they do to make fraud, guys. Okay. So by the dividend, he had invested, got dividend, then opened a company, then taken all shares. And now he is telling, I am not having money. I will take loan from the company. Now company is in loan and he will close the company. So it is a fraud only. Okay. Now come to this. Now you can see this paragraph. Read everyone. And if you are not getting any line, please ask. Disguised means concealed under the legal entity of a limited company. Mr. A had concealed him. Concealing means hiding something. He had concealed him behind the PQR Limited. Okay. The last line is, the court decided that the private companies were a sham. Sham is what? Fake. He had opened a fake company and the corporate veil was lifted to decide who is the real owner of that income. Got it, everyone? Any doubt in this? Please ask. Yes, Subhash? Got it or not? Don't keep fear for English, guys. Try to understand by concept. Don't think that these lines are English legal term. Term also I am telling you. Each and every word I am explaining you. Don't get fear. If you are not able to connect, please ask me at what point you are not able to connect. Yes, Anusha, Ritika, everyone? Got it? Rakshita? Got it? Pakka? These all things you will get. These notes, whatever I had made, these all things you will get. Okay? And you should make your own. Your own writing, you will understand the concept. Okay? Next is what? Yes, Digant, please keep point. Next is what, guys? Two cases we had seen. To determine the character of the company, to find out whether co-enemy or friend. Second, to protect revenue or taxes. Third is what? To avoid a legal obligation. To avoid a legal obligation. This is all very interesting case. In a simplified way, I'll just tell you. say suppose Anusha, Ritika and Ankita, three are friends. Now Anusha is taking some money from Ritika and she is keeping in her profit and loss account, and all the time she is maintaining profit and surplus, okay. And at the time of payment to laborers, what she had done, she had transferred all money to Ankita. Fine, she had taken from Ritika and she is showing in her profit and loss, but every time she is maintaining, but the year she have to pay the bonus to workers, she had transferred all money to Ankita by saying that Ankita is my subsidiary company, okay. And she is telling, I don't have surplus, from where I will pay the bonus. Bonus is the legal obligation. Bonus is what, guys? Legal obligation. To avoid a legal obligation, if you are having an industry and you are keeping workers, you have to pay some according to Factories Act and all, you have to pay bonus, you have to pay worksman compensation. This ESI hospital you had seen, worker can get the medical benefit from that, okay. So you have to maintain some legal obligation. Now you are having money, but at the time of payment of bonus, what you are doing, you are transferring that money to other company, that I am doing the investment, but that other company is your friend only. After this obligation, again Ankita will transfer that money to Anusha. So this is what kind of thing? Is it a right thing? No, it is wrong thing, okay. So in these cases, court will interfere. Got it? So in this case, what happened, guys? Where it was found that the sole purpose for the formation of company, first I will tell you this example, okay, then we will jump to that. See here, A Limited invested 4,50,000 and purchased share of B Limited, okay. A Limited Anusha, B is Ritika, okay. So A Limited purchased share of B Limited and getting dividend and showing in the profit and loss of A Limited. Are you getting? Anusha is getting the dividend and interest and she is showing in profit and loss account, okay. And then that money was used to pay bonus to workmen. It was showing there that we will utilize this money for what? To payment of the bonus to workmen. Now in 1968, at this year, A Limited, Anusha had transferred B Limited share to whom? C Limited. C Limited is Ankita, okay. So there is a concept further, I am going to take it in like detail. Right now, had you heard about holding company and subsidiary company, guys? Holding company and subsidiary means what? Holding is a parent company, subsidiary is a child company. And holding company is having all control on the subsidiary. And when this term is coming wholly owned means completely 100% control. Okay, so in this case, A Limited had made the C Limited means fully owned, wholly owned subsidiary. Means what? Now, can I say that A Limited is having all control on C Limited? Okay, so A Limited had transferred B Limited share now in C Limited, that is the subsidiary company, okay. Now C Limited is getting the dividend. A Limited started C Limited and transferred all shares. Now C Limited is only getting dividend and interest, that's it. There is no other transaction, no asset. Only A Limited asset is there in C Limited and only what is there? Dividend income is there. It means A Limited had started this company to hide the surplus. Fake company started. C Limited is what company? No company. There is no transaction, no asset. What is there? Only dividend, only asset of the A Limited. It means something wrong is going on. A Limited hided himself behind the C Limited. Okay. So here there is no other business in C Limited, guys. Fine. So now in A Limited P&L, there will be surplus or not? Nothing will be there. Why? Because it is transferred where? Apeksha? C Limited. So now from where you will pay bonus? From where you will pay bonus, right? So just to reduce gross profit of A Limited, they transfer the share to C Limited subsidiary company so that there will not much surplus to pay dividend, to pay bonus, guys, to pay bonus. Fine. Please read this again. Are you getting this, everyone? So court said A and C is not a separate company. A is telling I don't have money, my subsidiary company I transferred. So court had interfere who is controlling what, right? So court said A and C not a separate entity, as A is controlling everything in C company because it is a wholly owned subsidiary, and C company is not having any business and asset except dividend. It means A had transferred the share to reduce the gross profit to not pay the bonus to workmen. Okay, here I think not be supposed to be, yes. Okay, so this was the case. Now you please read this. The fact of the case are that A Limited purchased share of B Limited, Digant, by investing a sum of 4,50,000. The dividend in respect of B share was shown in the P&L of company. Which company? A Limited. Year after year, it was taken into account for the purpose of calculating the bonus payable to workmen of the company. Everybody got it? Okay, they are keeping in P&L account for the payment of bonus. Sometime in 1968, the company transferred the share to B Limited to C Limited, a subsidiary company wholly owned by it. Okay, wholly owned by it means completely control is on that C company. Thus, the dividend income did not find place in the P&L of A Limited, with the result that the surplus available for the purpose of payment of bonus to the workmen got reduced. Here, a company created a subsidiary and transferred to it its investment holding in a bid to reduce its liability to pay bonus to its workers. Thus, the Supreme Court brushed aside the separate existence of the subsidiary company. Means they had brushed. Court said subsidiary company and holding company is not a separate company. Okay, so the Supreme Court brushed aside the separate existence of the subsidiary company. The new company so formed had no asset of its own except those transferred to it by the principal company. Who is the principal company? A Limited. A Limited is the principal company, with no business or income of its own except receiving dividend from the share transferred to it by the principal company, and serving no purpose except to reduce the gross profit of the principal company so as to reduce the amount paid as shown to workmen. How many people got it 100%? Please raise your hand. Don't hesitate. If you are not getting, I'll explain. How many people? Next is what, guys? What circumstances? Formation of subsidiaries to act as agents. We had seen member and company are not agent to each other, but some companies are agent to some companies. There are some circumstances where some companies are agent to some companies. Okay, so there is a very small example I had mentioned here, like principal A company and agent B company. Fine. Here what happened? Let me explain you from here only, the small paragraph. A company may sometime be regarded as an agent or trustee of its members or of another company. Sometime in this case, okay, sometimes. Why we are telling formation of subsidiaries to act as agent? When we are talking about subsidiary, there is a relationship of principal and agent, guys. In above case also we had seen, no, they are telling these are separate legal entity, holding and subsidiary, but there were not separate legal entity. We are considering them same. Same means agent and principal is what? Agency relationship. That day I said, if agent will work on behalf of principal, it will be treated that liability is for whom? For principal. Okay, so like that one situation is here, guys, in holding company and subsidiary company, and maybe sometime in associate company. Okay, So a company may sometime be regarded as an agent or trustee of its members or of another company, and may therefore be deemed to have lost its individuality in favor of its principal. Say suppose I am telling A is holding company, B is subsidiary company, but we are telling that sometime the company is losing the individuality, means there is no separate company, they both are same, they both are same. So here the principal will be held liable for the act of that company. Okay, A company holding company, B company subsidiary company, and we are telling that B is agent and A is principal. So whatever will happen in the B company, who is liable? A is liable. Okay, now see the case law. In the case of Merchandise Transport Limited versus British Transport Commission 1982, a transport company wanted to obtain license. Which company, guys? Merchandise Transport Limited. They wanted to get a license. Fine. So transport company wanted to obtain a license for its vehicles, but could not do so if applied in its own name. If this company wanted to take it license in its own name, they are not getting it. They are not eligible. They are not fulfilling the criteria. Say suppose any problem will be there in that company. That's why the regulators are not providing license. Are you getting? So what this company had done? It therefore formed a subsidiary company. They formed a subsidiary company. Okay, they are not getting license, they formed a new company, vague company, bogus company, to get the license only. Okay, and the application for license was made in the name of subsidiary. They had applied and they got the license in the name of subsidiary, because there is no problem, there is no difficulties, right? Then the vehicles were to be transferred to the subsidiary company. Now they started a new company for old business. Why we start a new company, guys? That company should have its own business, no, its own asset. But if you are starting one new company just to hide the fraud of the actual company. So in this company, what happened? They started a new company to get the license and they transferred all vehicles to that subsidiary company. Okay. Now what happened? Held the parent and subsidiary were one commercial unit, and the application for license was rejected. First the subsidiary company got the license. Later on, when they get to know that they had opened this company just to get the license, they had rejected the license. So here subsidiary company is the agent of holding company. आ रहा है समझ में? ध्यान देने से तो भगवान मिल जाते हैं. आई बात समझ में? ये क्या है? कंपनी लॉ है, बहुत छोटी सी चीज है. If you will concentrate for 20 minutes, you will get the God in front of you. Go and try. And why you should sit for 20 minutes? Not to get the God. Pray to God that give some concentration in my mind so that I can learn company law. ठीक है? आज जाके करके देखना, मिलेगा. अल्लाह भी मिलेगा, गॉड भी मिलेगा, सब मिलेगा. वैसे लाइट दिखती है एक वाइट कलर की, जाके देखो. Sit silently after your classes, guys. You should have a break of 20 minutes. Mind, body, relax, full. Then you should get up. You will feel energetic. अभी यहाँ से जाने के बाद तुम अपने मोबाइल ऑन करके, ओ माय गॉड, प्रेसिडेंट, प्राइम मिनिस्टर, सबके कॉल आए होंगे. यू हैव टू चेक द मैसेजेस, है ना? 1 hour this person had waited for me, so my core liability to respond these all calls. So after these 3 hours classes, you should shut your mind, sit calmly, and little bit whatever you like. You should, if you like nature, you should visualize nature. You should visualize God. So that is the resting of mind is necessary to start it again. ठीक है? Topic last circumstances is what? Company formed for fraud and improper conduct or to defeat law. Why they had made a company, guys? For what? Company formed for fraud, improper conduct and to defeat law. Okay, cheating. Okay, defeating means cheating the law. where the device of incorporation means what? Rakshita? Like, you are late, why? Okay, she is thinking how I will shut down my mind today in bus or after reaching home. Okay, fine, no problem, Ankit. Rakshita. So, where the device is incorporated means formed. Device is what? No digital device and all. Device means company. So, they had made a legal entity, they had incorporated, is adopted for some illegal or improper purpose. They had made an entity or they started a company to do the illegal and improper purpose, to defeat or circumvent law, to avoid the law. They are not following the law, or defraud creditors and to avoid legal obligation. Guilford Motor Company versus Horn. So, corporate veil will be lifted in what cases, guys? Trading with enemy. You will check whether this co-company is enemy or friend. Second, where corporate entity is used to evade or circumvent tax. Where company form other companies as their subsidiary to act as their agent. Third is to avoid a legal obligation. What cases? What is the legal obligation? Paying the bonus. And then where the device of incorporation is adopted for some illegal or improper purpose. Got it, everything? So do you need, we will share you PDF. What is your work? To revise and come this, because what I am going to show you, for that at least please don't take much time, because already we had discussed all these things. See, company limited by share. What is your liability? To the extent of the unpaid amount. That is only mentioned in this. Okay. Company limited by guarantee. What is the privilege? At the time of winding up, they will ask the guaranteed amount. Fine. Next is what? Unlimited company. What is the meaning of unlimited company? The liability will be unlimited. You have to bring from your, by selling your home also. So that is called the unlimited company. That's it. And then we will go on the basis of members, OPC, private limited, these all things we are going to check. So this I will take, but just take a look, because already we had completed.